Hello, I'm Christian from the Welsh Sports channel and DragonSports, and it's fair to say that since Dan Biggar retired after the World Cup, Wales have really struggled to settle on an outside half and find the right man to take them forward. Since the World Cup against Argentina, Wales have played 16 games and tried 6 different outside halves in that position. 5 of those were as starters as well, so it's not just people coming off the bench and having a go. The guy who initially looked like the heir apparent was, of course, Sam Costelow. He had a really difficult start to the job, let's be fair. He came into that Six Nations and he took a lot of criticism. His play was not up to standard, but it's easy to forget that he literally came into the Six Nations the first game against Scotland, having only played 1 or 2 games because he was injured prior to that. Then he got injured in the Scotland game, missed 2 games and finished the last 2 games of the Six Nations. Granted, in those performances he was poor, especially in that Italy game, kept missing touch. But he seemed to draw the ire of a lot of Welsh fans, and they pointed a lot of their frustrations at him, which is, to be honest, I think a little bit harsh. I mean, playing behind a pack that is going absolutely nowhere and backs that haven't played with each other, it was kind of a mess. After that then, he kind of saw himself relegated to coming off the bench and having cameos, and to be honest, I think that suited him better. He could just come in, there was a lot less pressure, and I know a lot of players look better off the bench, but he certainly looked pretty good in those appearances, and he actually, anecdotally, it felt like he could get the backline going. Then unfortunately he got that injury for the Scarlets, which pretty much put him out for most of the season. But in some way I kind of see it as a little bit of a blessing, because it kind of removed him from the spotlight and just let a few other people have a go of that jersey and just kind of took the pressure off. And to be fair, I think his reputation increased in his absence. You only got to look at the different players who had a go of it in the last year. Anscombe really struggled, looked a real shadow of himself. Ben Thomas was okay in the summer, but in this year's Six Nations he was all at sea. Ewan Lloyd had a pop at it back 2 years ago and just didn't look like it fitted him. But Dan Edwards coming off the bench, Jared Evans coming off the bench, no one's sort of nailed down that position, and no one's been the one you could say, yeah, we need to just pick him and go forward with him. And I do still think that there's a possibility that Costelow can be that man. Now, I am a massive fan of Dan Edwards, I have to caveat that, and I think going forward he's got the highest upside, but at the moment he's had a difficult end to the season. He was excellent in the middle part, but he's had a really difficult end to the season, and since Costelow has come back for the Scarlets, he's instantly made them more attacking and made the team tick a lot better. Now, I've always said over on my channel that he's really struggled for Wales, but there's definitely a good player in there, and there's definitely a good skill set that you can pluck out. Now, he's only 24, so that is quite young to sort of come in, hasn't had a lot of experience, and actually just take over after Biggar, you know, after one of the best generational players we've had in that role. Playing for the Scarlets, he's looking really confident. In that game against the Lions, he was excellent. Nailed a snap drop goal, he was making line breaks, putting in excellent passes, his kicking game has come on a lot, and in defence, might be small, but he is our best outside half in defence. He is so brave, he just flies low, and unfortunately that's where he's picking up a lot of his injuries, is his fearlessness, where he's just coming out of the line and he's hitting people hard and low. And that is like a difference maker to the other outside halves we've got. Now, if we can get some go forward ball, which I think we will in this Japan tour, and also we maybe will have a little bit more of a settled centre partnership if he sticks with Ben and Max Llewellyn, which if it is Matt Sherwood who takes us forward, you can imagine that that's what he's going to do. There's going to be a bit more stability and a bit more continuity around. And if he can come in with confidence, which it looks like he's playing with at the moment, then I think he could be the man to at least take us in the next 2 games and then see what happens afterwards. And if we get the right environment around him, I think he feels confident, and then that's when we see the best of him, going at the line, making outside breaks and just putting other people in gaps. It's going to be an interesting one, but if Scarlets get into the playoffs and they have a bit of a run there, it's going to be hard to ignore him as the potential Wales starter for this summer tour. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one.